Hi guys, this is SRC Reptiles, and I know that some of you guys have never gotten to see my corn snake Rajah, so I figured I would show him to you. He's trying to burrow into my armpit, that tickled. So this here is Rajah. He really likes to wrap around my neck because I'm nice and warm. And obviously I've had this snake since he was only about like 6 to 8 inches long. He was itty bitty when I got him. And he's about 4 feet long now. He's going to be, if I remember correctly, 7 this year. So he's going to be an old man. Not really. They can live much longer. If I had to guesstimate, if I remember correctly, it's like 15 to 20 years, something like that. And I'm sure, depending on your care, you probably could have one live longer. But I'll try to get him now that he's unwrapped himself so that I can show him to you. So he's just a classic, which means just a regular old normal corn snake when it comes to morphs. And I'll stand back so you can kind of get an idea of just how big he is. He's not real girthy, so he doesn't look large like some other snakes. But this will give you kind of an idea. I tried to not do that too much because it might stress him out. Half of his belly, as you can see, is black and yellow checkered, or black and orange checkered, which is really pretty. And then his upper body is white and black. So it's really cool how it goes from white and black to that orange and black transition. And you can see the underneath of his head is white. So that's what Raj's belly looks like. It's really pretty. Here's his head. I made sure when I got him when he was little to read a lot about how to properly tame them. So as you can see here, I can touch his head. He doesn't care. I mean, he does care that I'm restraining his neck a little. But if I were to just have him like this and touch his head, you can see it doesn't bother him. So I try to make sure and pet him still like that to reinforce it, because I didn't have him for a year. And when he came back to me, he kind of had some wheezing going on. I don't know if he had some sort of a respiratory issue. Usually that's caused if it is not hot enough or if it's too dry. So usually increasing the temperature a little bit and the humidity usually will help them get over that. I no longer hear him making his kind of raspy breathing noise, which was very loud, by the way, when I first got him back. He has had 2 sheds, and surprisingly pretty frequent sheds also. Usually he never used to shed as much as he did, which I suspect is because he looked like he had some sort of an injury. About like in this area on the top of his back where some scales looked like they had been rubbed off. So it was just kind of white and pale versus having a really nice pattern. So you can see how he's got this black with the amber color. Well, I'll just show you on his back. But you can see how he's got this amber that's surrounded by black. And then he's got the pale brown here. So in the amber part near his neck, all of this was just pale. So whether or not the guy that had him, he could have tried to escape the cage possibly and rubbed himself there. And Rajah still takes frozen thawed like a champ. So Rajah never seemed to show interest in eating live when I did try a couple of times. And I personally don't care for live feeding anyway. So it's just a lot more humane on the snake and the rodent to not live feed and to just offer frozen thawed. Some people think it's unnatural, but it's unnatural that you're putting a mouse in a cage where it cannot escape its predator. So again, I'll try to see if I can get him to stretch out a little bit for you, so I can kind of give you an idea of his full length here. He is absolutely huge for a male corn snake. I mean, they usually average out at about 4 feet anyway. Any longer than that would be a little bit more uncommon, so like a 5-foot male. Which the only reason I know that he's a male is I have seen him doing some very suspicious things, okay? But they clean out down there, okay? And also when they shed, you can kind of tell. But it's not a guaranteed with the shed. I've just seen him doing manly things, okay? I'm not going to make it inappropriate. But yeah, so that's how I know he's a male. Also, where he's 7 and he's only 4 feet long, usually the males stay on the smaller end. The females can get 5 to 6 feet long. But yeah, these guys are kept in temperatures, like he has a temperature gradient. So one half of the tank will sit at about 75 to 77. And the other half, which is his basking platform, will fluctuate because he has a radiant heat panel that's controlled by a thermostat. So it usually will go between 82 and 85, which is usually what you want to go for. Once they're a little bit older, they don't require as high a heat as babies. Because I think if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've looked up their care, obviously, but if I remember right, it's like 85 to 90 is usually what you want to shoot for. And with him, like I said, it usually fluctuates 82 to 85 is usually what he goes between in there. So, and like I said, the ambient temperature goes between 75 and 77 because it is a radiant heat panel. It kind of heats up the entire tank, but the spot directly underneath it is what's going to be the hot spot, and everything else is just kind of radiant heat or like, ambient heat temperature. So, but yeah, Rajah actually is getting fed today, so I wanted to get him out and kind of hold him a little bit, look him over, make sure he's looking good before I go and feed him, because I usually give him about 4 days to 5 days to completely digest his food before any kind of handling. Also, I was giving him some clean water, and I was giving him fresh water, and I cleaned his water dish because, mineral buildup, even from water that you've filtered, it still will build up minerals. But, yeah, he's my sweet boy. I actually can still kind of see a little bit of marking where his neck is still healing, but it's very minuscule. It's like a few grayish pale spots that are there on the pattern, but it almost has gone all the way back to normal, so that's always good. But yeah, this guy, I'm sure that some of you have seen the video that I posted of him grabbing his frozen thawed rodent. He goes so fast. He is so quick. And it's so freaking cool, but it intimidates me at the same time. So I always make sure to use hand sanitizer. I don't want him to accidentally strike me, because that would be my fault at that point. Also, for those that don't know, corn snakes are if I'm remembering right, a colubrid. So they are a little bit more active versus like a ball python or something. So that's one of the reasons that I really enjoy Rajah, is because he is always on the move. Like, he will sit still a little bit, kind of like he's been sitting still when I had him kind of balled up in my hand. But, obviously, the older they get, the slower they'll start to move. Obviously, because they're larger, they have more mass to carry around. The babies, however, are absolute speed. They will move super quick. I'm just going to move this. My ceiling fan is super bright, and I don't know why I didn't move it before. But, yeah, Rajah, most of the time, for exercise, sometimes I'll put him on the stairs and he likes to crawl up, which really works their muscles. Otherwise, I just kind of hold him and let him slither around on me. He really enjoys trying to get in my clothes, so I have to watch him with that. He likes to get in my hair, which is why it's up in a ponytail, because he will get stuck in my hair if I have it down, and it's really difficult to get him out because his scales obviously go one direction, so if you're trying to pull from this way, it catches on it. But if I had to describe the way he feels for anyone who's never touched a snake, it just feels like really smooth plastic. Maybe like almost rubbery, if I had to really describe it. He's very soft. But a lot of people think that they're kind of slimy. No. Maybe if they were sick, maybe they'd have some mucus or something that would be coming out of their mouth, but otherwise his body has never felt slimy, so. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much just showing off Rajah. I would show his tank too, but that's downstairs and I'm not going to walk down there. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed getting to meet Rajah. He is my really cool boy. Like I said, he's going to be 7 if I remember correct. I'll have to put it on the screen if it's not correct, otherwise he's 7. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.